Hi, how's it going? So this is a production stub video to remind myself to finish producing this video based on a draft email I've sent myself on the 8th of November regarding let's say an excited group of young students out on the train that we're heading out to celebrate the recent completion of their high school exams. It was a bit of a funny interaction because I only realized afterwards that I think they had played a little bit of a prank on me by getting some photos of me with them. I'm not really sure exactly what they were up to, but I did notice afterwards that I'd definitely been played a little bit and distracted a little bit. So it's good to outline these kinds of interactions for people who may not understand them. So I'll read you the email that I sent myself. I was drinking quite a lot that night, so I may have been drunk when I was writing this. Could be interesting to hear. So it starts off with a big laugh. I just figured this out. So one of the girls was talking to me, and in fact had come over to sit next to me and positioned herself between me and the window as I was sitting on the outside of the train seat. So it was quite, essentially it was pointing my focus in the direction towards the window, away from the aisle where a bunch of other members of the group of kids were all sitting. So I noticed that they were that she may have deliberately positioned herself there for some kind of meme that I assume that I've been turned into at this point. While her friend waved her hands around to turn my attention to the aisle. So I'm assuming that the one sitting this side was posing while I was looking this way, and her friend was taking photos. I saw that the whole time anyway. So, I mean, what can I say? I like to take a joke in good spirit if I can. So I'm just, I guess, curious that there was such a drive or motive to carry out this kind of deception. And it was quite clearly coordinated. So while her friend was waving her hands around in the middle of the aisle to distract my attention, I noticed that it was the girl in green sitting down taking photos or a video of me, and also noticed that she had a bit of a hippie vibe with her clothing, her style, and nose ring, which is usually a pretty good sign of something being up. Then there was one girl in amongst them who did seem to be a little bit disturbed by what was going on, or at least discouraging it. What can I say? Redheads must be smart. So the most hilarious thing was that I sort of at the time noticed that there was a bit of distracting going on, wasn't really sure what was up, and hadn't figured out what the name of the girl who'd come and sat down next to me was. So I asked her for a name, which she responded with, but was kind of like hesitant. I wasn't really sure why. It seemed like she was pretty friendly up until that point. So maybe I put a bit of a maybe I screwed up the plan somewhat by asking her that. And then one of her friends, this is hilarious because I think her friend could tell that I was like, wait, who are you? So her friend announces to me her name, her full name. She's like, my name is, look me up on Facebook. And at first I thought, well, look, maybe is this a young girl trying to like crack onto me or something? But they're in the midst of a gaggle of laughs and fun times. So I mean, I'm not going to take it much of what they do too seriously. But what I would say is that afterwards I realized that that she had provided her name and how to find her, maybe not so much so that I could look her up, but because she just realized that her friend had maybe done something less than respectable, and she decided to fork her over. She decided to hand over her friend or something like, "Oh, you want to look us up? This is where you find us." I was a little bit taken aback by that because it seemed like one throwing the other under the train, which again, if they were up to some mischief, maybe that was deserved. But I observed that being quite hilarious because I don't think it was an attempt to get kind of conversation going with me or any kind of interest in me. I think it was actually just a matter of betraying her friend and making her maybe concerned with the fact that I might be watching what they're up to after having figured out they were trying to distract me for some unknown reason at this point. So either way, the profile that they led me to was actually them, which again surprised me. It seemed a little bit unusual. So there was some genuine fun going on there, but they were all fucked up and high and passing around drugs pretty openly. So it's hard to blame them for pranking around, I guess. If someone else wants to blame them, feel free. I may need to refine this one a little bit before actually uploading it.